Welcome to our first inaugural episode of the Porch Chronicles. I'm Tracey McFadden, and I'm so excited to bring you guys in with our guest today. We have David and Tracy Johnson and Miss Kelly Miller with J&J Building. And we're excited to talk about some cool things today.
We're excited to be here.
Yay, welcome. Kelly, you want to start us off?
Well, how did you guys decide to move into the Oakland Park area? What brought you here?
What brought us here?
You want to start?
I feel like there's a story here.
There is a story.
We actually have very good friends that live in the Orlando area, and we were visiting them to go to Epcot Food and Wine. And at the time we lived in...
A great event, by the way.
Right?
If you haven't been, Food and Wine.
It's a must.
A staple.
It is a must. And we were living in Bonita Springs, Florida at the time, and the pandemic had hit. And so David and I were both working from home, and the house that we had bought in Bonita was very small. And the company said, you can work from anywhere. So we started looking all over Florida to try to find
all over the world. At one point, we were like
Italy, like where do we want to go?
Texas.
This was during COVID, though.
During COVID,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
We're like, we can go anywhere.
That is true.
And so we started looking in Tampa, on the Gulf. We looked on the Atlantic side. We kind of thought,
Did you have a realtor at this point, or you
Yes.
were
We
just
did
kind of
not.
looking on your own?
We had a realtor.
not at first.
For us, we had a realtor.
Not at first.
Okay, cut.
Maybe we did.
So
Marital stat on the side.
we had sold our house down there, right?
Okay.
We were looking,
Yeah.
and one of the keys was we wanted a diverse neighborhood,
Yes.
right? A place that was about people and community.
Yeah.
So we were coming up for Food and Wine. We had visited Tampa, and we're about to put money on
Yes,
the lot.
I forgot about that. We
Yeah.
literally.
This is with Danielle, your realtor.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right. Yes.
Right?
We were.
We're about to put money on a lot. We went to Food and Wine.
We drank sufficient amounts of alcohol.
We remembered half the world at Food and Wine. And then we went to breakfast at a diner.
Eggs up.
Eggs Up.
Eggs
we-
Up Diner. I remember this.
Right?
Sorry.
Yeah.
We sit at the counter, and when we walk into diners, we look at who's going to be there. Who's waiting?
Yeah.
Right? What's that diversity like?
Yeah.
Right? So we're talking, and Tracy had this community she wanted to see, or this house, remember?
Yes, we were trying to get into a house, an existing home.
Resale?
Do a showing.
Okay.
And this guy sitting next to us, we were sitting at the counter, and he's like, oh, I'm sorry for eavesdropping, but you all need to go look at Oakland Park. And we're like,
is
what's
he?
Oakland Park?
I know, I remember that.
I don't know.
We don't
know his
know.
name,
Yeah.
right?
We should. And so we looked it up,
I owe that guy a referral.
right?
We owe him, right?
And we looked it up, and we're like, oh, it's right around the corner. Let's go check it out, because we couldn't get into the house we wanted to look at.
Yep.
And we were going to build in Tampa.
Yes.
Yeah, we're buying a lot, and we were going to
Because what we found is that all of the we were looking for at least 4 bedrooms so that in-laws and family can come, our boys can
Yep.
come back, we can work from home. And everything we saw that was existing was older and we'd have to do work.
Yeah.
And we
Renovate.
did not want to build
and we
again.
did put a lot of work into it.
And we did not want to build again.
Yeah, we really
Until-
didn't.
Until,
Hi.
right?
Enter Tracy.
Yeah.
Tracy was sitting in the model when we pulled in, and at first you said, oh, we don't have any lots,
Yeah.
but the model's for sale, remember?
Yeah.
The model was for sale.
Okay.
And so we're like, oh, this isn't quite the layout we want, and we ended up just sitting and chit-chatting with you.
Yeah.
And then neighbors were coming in, and you must have been to a party the night before with the neighbors, and they're bringing their banana bread to you.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And,
So you get the feel of the vibe.
yeah,
Yeah,
we got the vibe, and you were just telling us about Winter Garden and Oakland Park and what a cool neighborhood.
Yeah.
And then you said, you know what? There's a lot that I think somebody's going to back out of.
Yeah. You don't remember
You don't
that,
remember this, do
I
you?
remember this, but I'm just trying to remember who it was that backed out of us.
Actually, there
the
was
time.
2.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot over on that little lake,
Yeah.
and there was this one.
Okay.
And you and Mike both said,
Yeah, I vaguely remember that.
Yes,
Yes, I
we
do.
went this way.
Okay.
That's pretty awesome.
And then clearly they backed out.
they backed out. And I think we left you a check.
We were like, can we leave you a check
Yeah.
in
Just
case?
in case.
Yeah.
Right? You
Yeah.
took us downtown. We were able to see
Yes,
that.
you took us around, showed us around.
You guys got
town.
the first class treatment.
We did get the first
We
class
did.
treatment.
We did.
And we just fell in love with the neighborhood. We fell in love with the concept of community. That's
Porches on the
here.
front.
The porches on the front, the detached garages. I mean, all of that just really spoke to us. Like,
Yeah.
this felt like where we were supposed to be.
Wow.
So,
That's so cool.
yeah.
And
was.
there's a reason we're sitting on the porch.
Yes.
We are sitting on the porch.
Yes.
Oakland Park, definitely all about the porch living, which I love. I love this story. Okay, so you were like, Oakland Park is it. We love it. We love the lot. Now we found the lot.
Wait, we love Tracy,
I love Tracy.
right?
How did the build design part come together?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so that was the other thing that really sold us.
Yeah.
Not only on
Yeah.
Oakland Park, but J&J,
Yeah.
right?
Because you just said you didn't think you were going to build. You
Nope.
didn't want to build.
Right. We've done
No,
it before.
We've done it before.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So what changed your mind? Like,
Well,
how did that kind of
I think
happen?
you have to find the right builder.
Yeah.
You have to find a builder that you trust, that's a partner,
Who listens?
who listens to you.
Yeah.
Right? It was
Yeah.
very, very, very collaborative, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it took us a long time, I think, to just even get our
Design. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that went through a couple of different
So
iterations.
can I talk about the design a little
Yeah.
bit? So what I love is it's about a vibe. We have our vibe.
Yeah.
And then it's also about experience, connection, relationships. So our vibe was beach house, farmhouse. That's who we are, right?
Yep.
And so we sat down and Mike is just like, oh, I got ideas.
Do we want to say who Mike is?
Yes.
Yes.
Say who Mike is.
So our resident
Who's Mike? He's
Resident
everything to
architect.
us. Yes.
designer
And husband of.
extraordinaire.
Which we don't initially know until things just start
Yeah.
falling into place, right?
We keep that as like a little secret on the side.
Because
You
they're
know.
two separate people.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
But he was
but
so
eventually
excited.
it comes out.
Yes.
Yes.
It comes out and we're like, yeah, still, we want to do this.
Yeah.
Right? And but he was so excited. He looks at the lot. He cares about our vibe. We trust in you all experts, right? And that would be my biggest thing to people who are building. Find somebody that you can trust in that will listen to you and make your vision a reality.
Can I add
Yes.
to what really sold me was the fact that Jim and you and Mike all live in the neighborhood. You're living in your product,
Yeah.
right? And so you have
That's
a
cool.
belief, and I mean, I look at somebody like Jim. Jim's not going to live in a house that isn't a good product,
True.
right?
No matter how cool it looked.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
So
Kids
that
live here.
and what?
And
Yes.
his kids
Yes.
And his kids live here,
Grandkids.
Right?
right?
Yeah.
So
Gives validity.
Yeah.
yes, for sure.
So for
That's
us, then it was Mike wanted to build me a treehouse office, right? So he got my vibe, and I was like, "That's cool."
the treehouse office.
I was all over that.
Yeah.
And this was the
Do you
first
remember that? I do.
iteration. And what I love
He was
about
so excited.
Jim is that Jim's like, "Is this practical?" Right?
Budget friendly.
But again, listen and listening. And what we said at the time was, do you all do elevators? Yeah. Let's go up. Right? And then it just comes into, and here's the piece I just want to fast forward to. I sent Mike a note because I was sitting in my office and I looked out and an eagle landed on the tree outside my office.
So he got his treehouse office. It was just as
Right.
part of the house, right?
His vision meets my vision,
Yeah.
our vibe, right?
Yeah.
And everything
Yeah.
was just
yeah.
That's amazing.
a great experience.
Yes.
It's pretty cool how, I don't know about you. I don't always see it, he sees things. I feel like.
What did
Yeah.
you say?
Mike-
He sees things.
Mike
Like
sees things.
he
Yeah.
visualizes
Yeah.
Visual.
it
Yeah.
Right.
before the rest of us do.
Right.
Which is, there's not a lot of builders
Well,
that do that.
Let me tell you,
You know?
too.
I
Here's
haven't
the other thing.
experienced it.
You know, you can work with a designer, you can work with an architect, and they have their vision,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
But Mike was very good about what David said. He took our vision, combined it with his vision,
Yeah.
and we came up with a really,
And
really
adjust on the fly
Yeah.
too.
Right. Yeah.
You know.
just
Yeah.
on the fly. Like,
Yeah.
we're like changing stuff. Remember, we're sitting at the table.
Yeah.
He's got his computer. We're all talking and collaborating. It was really fun.
Very
Working
creative
together.
process.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was very
And
cool.
no isn't a bad answer for some things.
Yeah.
Right? Because most custom builds is, oh yeah, we can do this, we can do this. But the question is, should we?
Yeah.
That's what was really good too about Mike having the vision. Like he's looking at it going, oh, this is really cool. This is my vision. And then Jim coming in as the builder and saying, no.
We need an air conditioner there. Or we need
The practical side.
Yes.
Room for an air conditioner. Or I remember when we were all excited and we're building, we're like, wait a minute. We don't have a bathroom on the first floor. Oh, yeah. We need to add the powder room, right? Whoops. So it was fun.
That is good.
Yeah.
Mike spends, and Kelly sometimes too, spends the money, and then Jim brings us back to Planet
Reality,
Earth,
right?
which has been nice.
Yeah.
That's so cool. How do you feel like this, like, build and move and this beautiful home that we're sitting in, like, affected your family?
Quality of life.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, we lived in the Midwest for, well, all of my life. I was
Too
born
long.
in Illinois, and we went to Omaha to go to law school, met at law school, and
Wow.
lived in Omaha, Nebraska for 25
Cold
years.
weather.
Cold weather. And we always knew we wanted to get to Florida.
Yeah.
And working from home, that's the crazy things that comes out of the pandemic, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that allowed us to
What a
work from
crazy
home.
thing.
I know.
Yeah. It presented the opportunity.
It presented the opportunity for us to work from home and live in this wonderful neighborhood and enjoy the nice Florida.
And now
weather.
everyone needs a home office or 2 home offices in our
Well,
designs.
That's
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Because
It
and
changed everything.
one on one end of the house and one
Yeah. We're
Because
far away. I couldn't
we're
yell
both
down
pretty
to her
loud,
or her
so-
up to me.
Yeah, and that
Right.
I think that was a part of your. I think that was like day one.
Yeah.
you
Oh,
were
yeah.
like, we need 2 offices.
Here's the necessities.
Yeah,
Right?
And you didn't want to be on the same floor.
No.
Yeah.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
I mean, we're both
remember
on
that.
calls all day.
Yeah.
And we're both loud. So
Yeah.
it wouldn't have worked.
So for us, some key pieces were casita, so we can have my in-laws come for 3 months, or my mom be able to stay for some period of time.
Yep.
Other key things, yes, we wanted a pool for sure, right? There's the hidden speakeasy that was important to us, right? That here's the other
Cheers,
thing
everybody.
I like
By the way.
is the flexibility of J&J.
Yeah.
So we didn't. That wasn't a vision until
Project manager.
we had.
Was it? Yeah. You found space.
We had drywall? Did we? No. We had not the drywall yet, but the
Framing?
Framing was
Yeah,
up,
yeah.
and we were like,
You were in framing.
"What's this?"
Over here.
And it was like, "This is
That's
nothing."
my storage room.
Yeah, I was like, "What?"
This is my storage room.
But what's this other area? Well,
my storage
nothing was
room.
going to be here. And I was like, "This is now your storage room."
And by
This
the
is
way, both of
speakeasy.
our boys who are in their 20s were home,
Yeah.
walking through the house with us.
Yes.
And then I got ganged up on by the 3 of them. Like, Mom, this isn't your storage room.
But if I can say to those of you building a house, what we did with the speakeasy, you couldn't do aftermarket
That's true.
for less.
That is true.
So then it became just a smart decision
Yeah.
for us
Okay.
to put that in the pool table, the 3 TVs and the vinyl. It had to happen.
It all came together.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
I will say,
A little bar
it is pretty
top
nice.
The bar top. Oh my
It
god.
is pretty
Oh,
nice.
yeah.
It's epic.
Oh, yeah, talk about that.
So that was just cool. And I would say everything for us is about experiences. So real quick, if I can, this wood
Yeah.
came from friends in Tallahassee. He wanted to give us something for the house. And then we
But it was
went,
like a raw piece of wood, and we're like, what are we going to do with this raw
Right.
piece of wood?
so we go downtown to a place just to finish it.
Yeah.
And a little bit of money later, we came out with some wood that had been struck by lightning and burned.
In
it's
what
now-
country was it?
I think it was Brazil,
Brazil? A
right?
tree out of Brazil.
Wow.
So we wanted to finish that, and they finished 2 pieces for us that are now our bar rails, and we put our family last names underneath.
Oh.
Right.
That's so cool. I didn't hear that part. That's
Yeah,
neat.
we'll show you.
Yeah.
Wow. That's so cool. And then I love how all of these things happened after we drew the plan.
Right?
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
fact that J&J did not say no,
Yeah.
they, we kind of like embraced it and we're like, yeah, this makes sense. We should do it, you know?
If I can interrupt you and add to that, is that I like it's yes and.
Yes, and.
So everybody that we've worked with, and I think it's a testament to Kelly, is how, if this was your house, what would you do here?
Yes.
And you get practical insights and
Yes,
information.
yes.
And not all of them are automatic upcharges or whatever. It's like, well, you don't really need this. How often are you going to use this?
Right.
Right?
Let's talk
And
through this.
you've built your own houses, right? So you know.
Yes. Yes.
You know what you know what works and doesn't work, and
And I thought it was fun because I would get going on
yeah, design stuff.
and I would just send you ideas.
Yes.
And my feelings aren't hurt if you said, like, thank you, that's amazing. Not perfect for what I was
Right.
thinking,
Yeah.
but like, ooh,
right?
that.
Think about
and then
like
we just share ideas back and forth.
think about the blue. Remember with the blue of our kitchen cabinets?
Yep.
And then we're like, we should do the drop zone in blue.
Yep.
We should do the barn doors in blue.
Which I
Right?
didn't agree with initially, and then the two of you were like, yes, that makes sense in
Let's
this.
do that.
Just a little touch. And then I
Yeah.
even think we went down to one of the neighbors'
Yes.
houses and looked for
Yeah.
the color for your speakeasy.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And it all kind of like comes together.
Yeah, because they
mean
use
dark night
really
color?
Yes.
Was a community effort because I don't know if you remember this, but
yes.
they put up
Yeah.
I don't know 4 or 5 different exterior
six.
colors, remember when you were still trying
Yeah.
to decide,
Yeah.
and then people would like drive by and like vote
Yes.
on
I
which
mean-
color they liked.
You don't want to paint. First of all, it's a huge house, and you don't want to paint a color that the neighbor has to look at and not like forever and
right.
ever, right?
Yeah.
So at least give them a little option to say, please don't paint your house this color,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Right?
And I
Fuchsia.
know Mike.
And just to be
No
clear,
fuchsia, right?
Mike is a
this was Mike's
traditionalist.
favorite color, everybody.
No, it wasn't.
He wanted the green.
Mike wanted white.
Mike wanted white.
Mike wants every house white.
Yes. Yes.
It was any
Which is
shade
why
of-
which is why we're looking at 3 white houses
But that's
Right.
beautiful.
across
The
the
white
street.
is beautiful, right?
Yeah.
No,
Every
it's
once in a
not.
again,
it's
you need
classic.
that little pop.
We were looking at building on the beach initially, right?
Right, that your beach, your
And we were
beach farm.
beach farmhouse,
Yeah.
and so we're like, we got to have a little color.
Yeah. Mhm.
So I think we went a
Little
subtle.
Key West flavor.
Here it is.
Yeah, like
like
Key
it.
West.
I like it.
So
And I remember designing what's unique is that when the house gets sold initially, I wasn't always involved in the beginning. I'm involved when I see this plan come together. I'm like, holy smokes, there's a fireplace on the front porch.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, holy smokes, there's a third floor.
Right.
What are these people doing?
Well, and the things that you don't get to see.
Yeah.
How are
Yeah.
we getting air conditioning
Yeah.
to this? How
Yeah.
are we,
Yeah.
Yeah.
all the not fun stuff that
Right.
happens, and then to see it come to fruition in real life.
Yeah.
And actually transform is so
one thing I would tell
amazing.
you is, people think, oh, you have an elevator. The elevator really, in the grand scheme of things, was not that expensive. And
Comparatively speaking,
comparatively
too.
speaking,
It does sound like an expensive.
it sounds
does.
like an
It
expensive
does.
option.
Yeah.
And it was the smartest thing we did on the whole house, I think,
Wow.
because we now have David's mom who's with us, and she can't do stairs.
Right.
And at some point,
Nobody's limited to a floor
we may
anymore.
not be able to do stairs. And
At some point,
We
yeah.
travel on
Yeah.
business and we
Yeah.
don't lug suitcases down
yes, you
floors
can take your
anymore,
suitcase
right?
up the
Yeah.
elevator.
Yeah.
Or getting stuff
So,
upstairs, right?
Highly
So-
recommended. Even a 2-story, right? Like,
Unfortunately, we're not European, right? So everything there is stairs and
Right? Yeah.
lugging things up. It's pretty funny.
yeah.
So the other thing I just want to say is that first of all, you got to pack your patience, right? And just be patient about things. It's a journey.
Yeah.
The plan is to live in the house for so many years.
Yeah.
So do you really want somebody to throw it up in 6 months? Right? But the other thing is to be able to set relationships, and you all do a great job, to have hard conversations. And you all had to have what you all thought was going to be a hard conversation with us. And what we appreciate is the way you approach it.
Okay.
So
I don't
we were
remember
introduced
the
to
hard
Kelly to say,
conversation.
I'm like, which one?
What was that?
no, it was to say, hey, listen, we've had some changes in how we're approaching things, and you came to us. It's up front.
I do remember.
Right?
Okay, I know.
Pick up the phone.
I know what you're talking about.
Right? So
You
that,
remembered.
then it's always pick up because when you do that, we know that's the way it's going to be.
Always.
Yeah.
He needs to come join us.
The architect has arrived.
The architect
Yes.
has arrived.
The man, the myth, the legend. I got something. If you got some time, I just want to show you a few friends of mine.
should stop by.
The one thing I would say too, if people, we've built before, so this was our second go around.
Yeah.
People who haven't built, I think, are probably more anxious.
Yeah.
We understood the process.
Sure.
Yeah.
And the other thing I think
It's a long game.
makes a difference is David and I agree on almost everything.
Yes.
From a design standpoint, from a decoration
Which is
standpoint.
very rare.
Is it?
Until I don't care anymore.
Is
No,
it?
no,
Right,
I think
well,
this
Well,
is
yeah,
rare.
then he finally gives up and I win. But
No.
It is, you
No.
can't win every battle, and
Yeah.
so you're a good couple to build homes because you can differ on certain things, but you'll never get through the build. It's not fun.
Yeah.
Right.
If someone's got to win every battle.
Yeah,
You know,
no.
Somebody might feel strongly about one or two things,
Right.
and then because
You
you're
compromise.
as a couple, you understand this
Yeah.
is important to him. You play
Yes.
games. That's fine.
Yes.
Right.
Let's
Like
do it
we
his
picked
way.
rooms,
Yeah.
right? Like mine was the primary bath and
Yeah.
the closet. That was my room. His was the speakeasy, his office, probably
But we
the
still
pool.
both care about the
Yeah.
others, right?
Yeah,
And we have a similar vibe. And the cool thing was working with you all is sometimes you were the tiebreaker,
That is
right?
true.
Like, hey, what do you think?
Or Mike was the tiebreaker.
Right?
Yeah, yeah.
And it wasn't
You did
that we
call
didn't.
a couple times. I was
Yes.
like,
Hey, we need you to look at this,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
can you talk to us about this?
yeah,
And-
yeah.
Right?
That's pretty funny.
Trust.
You hit on something that I think is interesting because we just live in a state. We live in the state of Florida,
Yeah.
and there's just a lot of production in this state. There's a lot of home builders. There's a lot of development,
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
our state. But you hit on something that, throwing something up in 6 months.
Yeah.
Because that is, I think, generally most people that are building, and they're building in a community or a production product or whatever, are used to being told no.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can we just make this door, can it swing this way instead of this way?
Right.
How many
Right.
conversations do we have about which way the doors swing?
Right.
Right. And it's a no.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a no for everything. Can I change the color of this paver, or the front or whatever? Can I move this column over, or, adjust, or, whatever it happens to be, add the elevator,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
No, it's a no. It's
Yeah.
a hard no.
Yeah.
What you all provide is like, you can, but let's talk about whether you should.
Right.
Right.
In the right moments.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's like, yeah, sure, we can do that, we can do this. But what we really appreciate is when you're like, okay, let's talk about that. Because we've had some instances where we're like, hey, we're going to switch out this. And you'll say, all right, let's just take a minute. You seem like you really wanted that. Let's talk through
Yeah.
whether you should let go of that or whether we should see what we can do.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, don't give
You,
up on that thing.
Right? Yeah.
This is important to you.
And the other thing is, it's not going to be perfect, right? Like people think
It's a
gonna be
home we want to
perfect.
live in.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be perfect, and there's going to be things that you're going to have to work
Issues
through.
pop up.
Issues pop
Yeah,
up,
sure.
and you have to be, like you said, pack your patience
Yeah.
and trust the builders, right? I mean, Kelly and I have had several conversations, and I know Kelly's going to take care of it at the end of the day,
Yeah.
right?
That's awesome.
Or sometimes I'll get okay, I talked to Kelly, we're good. And it's like, cool, I'm traveling, whatever's happening.
Right,
It's
like with that
you're
happened,
good.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Then you run into each other at the Millennium Mall at Christmas.
with my beautiful son.
Oh.
Your beautiful daughter, right?
We should just stop there and they'll
Yeah.
be mad at us.
Oh, no. Sorry, Cammie.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
Bringing it up. Yeah.
You mentioned your mom a second ago, and I'm sorry, I just have to bring up your dad,
Yes.
just because he's made such a presence in this town in such a short time. Like that's, to me, it's just
It's unbelievable.
so rare. I don't know if you want to talk about him for a second.
Absolutely. If I didn't, he would be disappointed.
I feel like he would.
Right? So we've been very fortunate with my boys growing up that they've had their grandpa very close and
Yeah.
their grandparents close, pretty close. But my dad retired, it seems like 20-some years ago, right? And
When we were in law school, I think he retired.
And when
But he's 90 now, right?
Yes.
We all know because you were at the birthday party.
Yeah.
right?
90th
Epic.
birthday party,
Yeah.
which was like better than my birthday party, I feel like.
I
this
would tell
past
you,
year.
better than most birthday
Most
parties.
birthday
I've
parties.
seen.
Everybody.
Like,
Right.
Yeah.
amazing.
So he actually toned it down here. In Omaha, it was in a museum. right? With at least 300 and some people.
At least.
Right?
My word. Wow.
But here's the thing that I would say is that he's followed his grandkids. So when the second one was born, he came to Omaha, has been close. And what we loved about all of this is that we told him where we were going to be. And he was like, okay, I'll be there.
Yep. He followed us wherever we went. He would.
Wow.
I think he moved here before we had almost,
He
right?
did, because we were in Bonita Springs, and when we signed the contract, he's like, I'm there, and he found
He
his
just came
apartment.
over.
Yes. So when we finally came up here and knew where we were going to be, he's more like, do you know Mike and Tracy? And we're like, yes, we do.
Yeah, we know that.
Right? Or things about the town. So this has truly become his town and his favorite place to be. And what I love about where we are is that we get on the trail, 2 miles, we can see him.
Yep.
He will ride his tricycle or whatever you might call it,
Oh, yeah.
right?
My
2
aunt
miles
has
and
one of
he's
those
here.
in here. Yeah.
Yep.
Right. So
That's
it's
the
been
other
good.
thing I would say that's great about this neighborhood is we are right off the Orange County Trail.
Yes.
Right, so you can jump on, ride your bike to town,
Rollerblade, jog.
rollerblade. We go the other direction to Oakland and play pickleball.
Really?
Oh, I
No.
should have said that out loud.
Cut
no,
that.
there's no
Gotta be cut.
pickleball.
There's no place to play pickleball.
No place to play pickleball in Oakland.
Right.
I did not know.
No.
You still don't know.
Zero.
Still don't know.
That's a secret.
That's a super secret.
Okay, good to know. Yeah, the trail, absolutely.
Yeah.
Accessible, great town, golf cart.
Yes.
Golf cart community. Yeah.
It's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle.
Yeah,
For sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I have one question.
Uh-oh.
So if you had to do it over again, is there something
Oh.
that you would do differently?
Is there?
I got 2 things.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
One,
I don't maybe not even know this.
One, I would build a slide from our deck down.
No.
Okay.
No.
And I was vetoed on
No.
that by
No.
the CFO here,
Yes.
the CEO here.
I don't know if
I
we would have
feel
gotten a
as-
CO for
I feel
that.
as if that might have been vetoed by
By the city.
everyone.
Yeah.
So let's not
Everyone?
put that onus
Yeah.
on
Yes.
Tracy.
Yes.
The real thing that we would have done, and we're going to work on it because when I pull up this way, I look at the design and the architecture of it,
Yeah.
and it's beautiful.
Yes.
So I don't want to impact that,
Okay.
but functionally,
Do you wish the driveway was on this side?
no.
Oh, okay.
I would screen in the pool.
Yeah.
And I
Okay.
want to do it in a way that it's almost invisible.
Wait.
Don't tell
And-
Mike
and-
Morrissey.
No, he doesn't need to know.
But that
He's
was a
right
huge
there.
conversation around the round table in the model. Because Mike and June
We talked
and
about this, I think.
you,
Yeah.
we all talked about it, and everybody had an opinion about the screened-in pool.
Screens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we made the decision we're just going to go with it for a couple of years and
Yeah.
see how
See
we
how
feel.
you feel.
Yeah.
Why, is it bugs?
Leaves.
Leaves.
Maintenance. We are a
Maintenance.
low maintenance family.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is a low maintenance house, which is phenomenal.
Yeah.
I haven't done more cleaning on this house than this weekend in preparation for this, but this place stays, I mean, it's just everything is low maintenance.
Yeah.
And that's what we really love about it as well.
Yeah.
Screens, I feel like, are such a controversial thing, but it's
Right.
Yeah, they are.
Right.
Florida, you know, it's tough. Like we go up to New England and it's not a thing.
Right.
It's not a thing up there. There are no pool cages.
Right.
So it's definitely a Florida thing.
Yeah.
But I get it. I get it.
I'm going to
Who's
do almost an
cleaning the pool?
invisible one, though.
Probably me.
Like,
yeah.
just to make it almost blend with the architecture where somebody thinks that's naturally the case.
Maybe we could create that or something.
Maybe.
That'd be
What
amazing.
about you, Tracy? You got your blue bathtub, which was reminiscent of your grandmother,
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a very
That's gorgeous.
That evokes a feeling in
Yes.
that bathroom for you.
I love that tub.
and I'm
So-
happy that you did it.
Yeah, so my bathroom, and I feel like we did a darn good job without having a designer. You can get a designer to
yeah.
help
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
but I feel like we had our vision of
Yeah.
what we wanted. The primary bathroom is a recreation of my grandmother's farmhouse bathroom.
Yep.
And it's a memory from my childhood when I used to go spend weeks with them in the summertime. And if you recall, the farmhouses had no air conditioning.
Yeah.
So you'd be there in the summertime and you'd be in the clawfoot tub taking your bath with the window open and the summer breeze coming in.
It's great.
And so that's what I was trying to recreate, was that more of an upscale farmhouse bathroom. And so we searched for a blue clawfoot tub to go with the
We
motif of the house.
Searched.
That was the hardest thing.
That was the hardest thing.
And
So
you nailed it.
I think
did.
so.
Yep.
I'm very happy with it. And you'll notice if you go up there today, there's an addition to the bathroom. It's a
Picture of the
picture
family farm.
that we found in South Carolina
Oh, that.
at an art museum of a pony that looks like my pony that I had on my
She had a
grandparents'
pony.
farm. I had a pony named Pepper. So Pepper's now
Pepper's in the bathroom.
in the bathroom.
Tub.
But the family farm picture is up there.
The family farm
which is
picture's up there as
cool,
well, yeah.
Right. And then the other thing, if I can do, shout out to very good contractors that you work with.
Yes.
So who helped us with much of the design? Was that,
Oh, Kelly.
yes.
The other Kelly.
Kelly's awesome.
Oh, Kelly.
Kohler.
Kelly.
Yeah,
Yes.
Ally Buildings.
Nice.
Right.
Very good.
Shout out to Kelly.
Ally.
Shout out to Kelly.
Yes, for sure.
The other Kelly.
Yes.
The other Kelly.
Sophie
Two
Kelly.
Tracys, two Kellys.
Yes.
That's amazing. Well, we are so happy that you guys are here. I feel like a lot of times I have a little bit of a premonition, you know, when I meet people.
It felt like that a little
It
bit,
did.
didn't it?
It did. It felt like that. But there's just certain people that come in the door. It doesn't always happen that way, but some people come in the door and I'm like, you're Oakland Park people. Like you could just tell, you know,
Yeah.
it's a cool thing. And we're so happy to have you guys in the neighborhood. Clearly you have made yourself at home here, and we want to thank you guys for your time.
Thank you.
And
We're happy to
friendship.
be here.
We're happy to be part of J&J family.
Chronicles.
Yes, we do consider ourselves part of the J&J family.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Sláinte.
Thanks for coming.
Yes. Cheers.
We'll see you next time on the Porch Chronicles.